just stay put? Here goes nothing.
You thought the PSP was just a pocket-sized PlayStation for God of War and Monster Hunter? Think again, my fellow thumb warriors. Hidden beneath its sleek black shell lies a treasure trove of bizarre, brilliant, and downright bananas games that time and apparently the internet completely forgot. We're talking penguins with 1,000 lives, robot philosophers climbing towers of sin, and knights battling Satan himself on a handheld screen. So buckle up, because we're diving into 16 of the most unique PSP games nobody talks about, but absolutely should.
Now he shall finally reign over this world as its true king, for all eternity.
Jeanne d'Arc. She's not your typical teenage farm girl, unless your farm happens to be on fire, occupied by demon-infested English invaders, and you just found a divine magical armlet that turns you into a medieval superhero. That's basically the opening salvo here, and it does not let up. What starts as a semi-grounded tale about France versus England during the 100 Years' War very quickly spirals into a tactical anime fever dream full of demon lords, divine powers, and very intense grid-based warfare. But don't let the fantasy fool you. This one's smarter than it looks, with strategy mechanics deeper than your average war council. On the battlefield, it's turn-based tactical brilliance. You're not just moving chess pieces, you're managing elemental affinities, triggering wild, burning aura chain attacks, equipping upgradable skill gems like you're crafting medieval Pokemon, and, get this, turning into a glowing holy warrior with bonus murder turns every time you land a kill. That's right, kill one enemy and boom, you go again. The entire combat system rewards clever positioning, teamwork, and yes, a healthy dose of divine judgment. Combine that with dramatic cutscenes, transforming armbands, and enough plot twists to make Shakespeare sweat, and you've got a true PSP gem nobody talks about, but absolutely should. Split Second. You're starring in the most gloriously over-the-top reality show ever devised by a human brain, hopped up on Michael Bay movies and 5 espresso shots. The cameras are rolling, the explosions are scripted, and your job? Win the race and steal the spotlight. Because in this chaos-fueled spectacle, simply taking first place isn't enough. You'll need to literally blow the competition off the road. And I mean that in the most literal sense possible. You'll be crashing airplanes, collapsing bridges, and detonating entire buildings like it's just another Tuesday. What makes this handheld adaptation bonkers fun is how it crams that cinematic destruction into your palms without sacrificing the thrill. You'll drift, draft, and do sick air stunts to charge up your power play meter. Then, just when your opponent thinks they've got the win, boom! You trigger a shockwave from a toppling crane or turn the airport into a fireball runway. The best part? You can save up those charges for massive game-altering events that completely reshape the track. No mini-maps, no speedometers, just raw adrenaline strapped to a barrel of C4. FlatOut, Ultimate Carnage. This one's like stuffing a demolition derby, a street race, and a circus cannon act into a blender and hitting the nitro button. Imagine careening around junkyard racetracks, slamming rival cars into walls, catching air over crumbling bridges, and then suddenly being catapulted through your windshield to play a round of human darts. That's not hyperbole, that's an actual mode. This game lets you yeet your driver out of the car like a floppy ragdoll and launch him into bowling pins, flaming hoops, or even field goal posts. It's absolute chaos, and it's glorious. Underneath the absurdity is a surprisingly tight racer. Handling's been refined from the first entry, with improved tyre grip and better cornering control, making high-speed drifts and ridiculous takedowns feel even more satisfying. You'll unlock and upgrade through 3 main car classes, Derby, Race and Street, each with their own flavour of vehicular madness. Whether you're in a rusty muscle car or a shiny tuner, everything is built for speed and destruction. And let's not forget the glorious ragdoll physics. Slamming your car into walls has never been so fun, because when your driver goes flying through the windshield, it's just the start of the next minigame. Gurumin, a monstrous adventure. You move to a quiet town expecting boredom, and instead, you're handed a giant magic drill and asked to save an invisible monster society from evil ghosts. Yep, just another Tuesday. That's the setup for this outrageously adorable and criminally overlooked action RPG, where you play as Perrin, a pink-haired powerhouse with zero chill and a literal drill bigger than her torso. When the friendly monster world gets steamrolled by spooky shadow creatures called phantoms, Perrin straps on her headgear, cranks up the sass, and dives into battle to restore peace. One ruined monster home at a time. Combat in this game is fast, flashy, and way deeper than you'd expect from something this cute. You'll be spinning, slamming, and aerial comboing enemies in real time while juggling headwear that gives you buffs like fire resistance or double damage. And yes, you can match your outfit to your hat for bonus abilities, because Perrin fights evil fashionably. The drill levels up as you bash enemies, and taking a hit knocks it back down, so there's real incentive to play smart. But what truly makes it sparkle? Insane replay value. Beat the game, and you unlock harder difficulties, weirder game modes, and outfits that practically scream, "Play me again, you know you want to." Half-minute hero. You've got 30 seconds to save the world. No pressure, right? That's the madness this game throws you into over and over again, with a wink, a smirk, and a punch to the clock. At first glance, it looks like your classic RPG, but then, bam! You're racing through towns, auto-fighting monsters, and bribing the time goddess to rewind the countdown before the big bad drops the apocalypse like it's hot. Each mission, a bite-sized bomb of chaos wrapped in pixel art glory. It's 6 in 1. And each mode flips the script like it's got genre-hopping whiplash. In one, you're a villain commanding armies in RTS-style summon battles. In another, you're a crossbow-wielding princess on roller skates with an armed escort, sprinting home before curfew. You'll even play as a knight, babysitting a spell-casting sage with the attention span of a goldfish. And when you're done with that, try doing all this again, but with 3 seconds on the clock. It's like WarioWare had a love child with Final Fantasy and raised it on caffeine. With 7. You land in a new kingdom looking for adventure, and within minutes you're locked up for punching a soldier. Classic Adol. But don't worry, because in this monster-slaying, dragon-waking, earthquake-investigating thrill ride, getting thrown in jail is just your fast pass to saving the world. After Altago's king politely asks you to fix the tectonic mess his army couldn't handle, it's off to awaken giant elemental dragons, smack ancient beasts with very pointy weapons, and, most importantly, figure out why the world is literally shaking apart. You'll form a 3-character tag team and unleash flashy special skills that practically explode off the screen. But the twist? You've got to match your weapon type to your enemy's weakness. Slashing beats softies, striking crushes armor, and piercing takes down the flyers. Whack the wrong one, and you're basically tickling them. Even better, you'll unlock, level up, and enhanced skills across different weapons, meaning your toolkit becomes deadly customized as you play. And don't even get me started on the flash guard. Perfectly parry an attack, and boom! Free crits, full meters, and the smug satisfaction of anime-level reflexes. It's wise, but with more depth, more dragons, and way more punching things into oblivion. Warhammer 40,000 Squad Command. This is the kind of game where your squad of noble ultramarines lands on a chaos-ridden hellscape, and the first thing you do is blow up the walls you're hiding behind. Welcome to the gritty, turn-based tactics battlefield of the 41st millennium, where every move costs precious action points and every shot could be your last. Unless it's also the one that sends a word-bearer's skull flying. You're not here to run and gun. You're here to outthink, outflank, and outshoot cultists of chaos in tight, destructive arenas filled with cover you can and should obliterate. In the campaign, you'll command the legendary Ultramarines through a gauntlet of 15 intense missions that don't just test your aim, but your AP management. Spend more points to aim tighter, or keep some back to go into Overwatch and catch that chaos havoc off guard. Every decision's life or death, and every turn is a chess match with bolters. And yes, multiplayer's here too, up to 8 players, yelling for the Emperor or blood for the Blood God, across 9 maps of tactical mayhem. With destructible terrain, over 20 weapons, and that trademark Warhammer doom-dripping aesthetic, it's easily the PSP's most faithful digital translation of tabletop carnage. Darkstalkers Chronicle: The Chaos Tower. Imagine being trapped in a gothic monster mash where every creature fights like it's Halloween and WrestleMania rolled into one. That's the vibe here, where you've got mummies, werewolves, succubi, and demonic samurai all duking it out in beautifully chaotic 2D arenas. But this isn't just a basic brawler slapped onto a handheld. Oh no. This little PSP gem is actually a buffet of every Darkstalkers game rolled into one. And yes, you get to pick exactly which version of your fighter you want to throw down as. Want to play Morrigan with her original moveset from Night Warriors? Go for it. Prefer the faster, combo-heavy Vampire Savior mechanics? That's on the table too. The beauty here lies in the chaos you can mix and match characters and gameplay systems from 5 different games, resulting in total mayhem that feels like a Capcom fighting museum had a caffeine overdose. Beyond arcade and versus modes, there's also Chaos Tower, a single-player survival challenge where you climb a tower with 3 chosen characters, switching between them as you battle through increasingly brutal stages. It's a great way to test combos, show off your monster squad, and get repeatedly destroyed by a catgirl with claws and attitude. The Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins. You're a knight. You're in your undies. You're surrounded by fire-breathing skulls, evil vegetation, screen-sized demons, and flying eyeballs. Yep, it's ghosts and goblins, baby. But this time, it's not just a punishment simulator. This PSP upgrade takes the classic formula, cranks the visuals into gorgeous 2.5D, and, dare we say, gives you options to actually survive the madness. Fancy that? You've got 3 modes, one for folks who want mercy, one for the traditionalists who laugh at the idea of checkpoints, and a middle lane for those who just want to keep their pants on a bit longer. Arthur can now wear upgraded armor that doesn't immediately disintegrate on contact. There's a gear system that lets you double jump, equip shields, or even unleash magic without being tied to a specific weapon. Basically, it's still hard, but now it's hard with style. The levels are haunted fever dreams, ranging from zombie-filled forests to lava-spewing hell zones that practically scream, "You shall not pass." And don't even think about beating it once and walking away. Oh no, This game pulls a classic, you didn't collect all the rings, try again, sucker move, forcing a second run if you want the real ending. Rengoku 2, The Stairway to Heaven. You play as a war machine named Adam, climbing a tower themed after the 7 deadly sins, battling other biomechanical nightmares, and slowly unraveling a story that's more brooding than a Shakespearean cyborg on a rainy rooftop. This isn't your usual robots gain feelings tale. This is more like robots punch their way through existential dread while dual-wielding flamethrowers. And honestly, it kind of slaps, in a very emo, melancholic, cyberpunk kind of way. Gameplay-wise, it's part arena brawler, part dungeon crawler, and all about customization. Over 300 weapons and body mods can be equipped to your android limbs, meaning you'll constantly be experimenting with loadouts that turn you into a walking armory of doom. Laser arms, check. Explosive knees, absolutely. Sword that probably violates international treaties, you bet. Each floor gets weirder and tougher, filled with twisted enemies representing sin-themed horrors. And the combat swings between clunky and strangely satisfying. Add in some downloadable content, wireless 4-player deathmatches, and a divine poem-inspired sci-fi nightmare for good measure, and you've got a flawed gem with ambition way bigger than its processor.
Fight for your freedom. Escape from the castle.
Power Stone 2. There's no such thing as a quiet match. In this game, it's a 4-player brawl where chairs fly, submarines explode, and someone's definitely turning into a fire-breathing superhuman by round 2. What starts as a typical fighting game escalates fast into an all-out chaos simulator with skydiving stages, bear traps, flamethrowers, and tables you can yeet across the arena. Welcome to the loud, wild, and gloriously unpredictable battleground of Power Stone 2, now pocket-sized on PSP, and still somehow more energetic than your entire local arcade combined. Unlike traditional fighters, this one goes full 3D and throws you into living, breathing stages that evolve mid-fight. 1 second you're duking it out on a warplane, next thing you know it's disintegrating mid-air and you're punching someone during freefall. Then BAM! You crash land onto a new platform and keep swinging like nothing happened. No round ever plays the same twice. And the madness only escalates when someone grabs all 3 power stones and morphs into a god-tier brawler with screen wipe. But the real hidden gem? Adventure mode. Between battles, you collect items like rocket boots, invisibility elixirs, or literal turrets, then mix them at the in-game shop to create weirder, more broken tools of destruction. You want to body slam someone with a flying pig hammer? You can. It's a party, brawling at its most creative and chaotic, and an absolute must-play if you like your fights fast, fun, and totally unhinged. Prinny, can I really be the hero? You're a penguin in a scarf. You explode when thrown. You've been ordered by a tiny demon queen to collect dessert ingredients or be permanently obliterated. And you've only got 1,000 lives to get it done. Sounds insane. Oh, it absolutely is. And that's exactly what makes this ridiculously hard, gloriously slapstick side-scroller one of the most unique and criminally underplayed gems on the PSP. This game is less about, can I really be the hero? And more like, can I survive 5 minutes without falling into lava, being pancaked by a food monster, or getting eviscerated by a waffle cannon? You'll double jump, hip-pound enemies, slash with swords, pilot tanks, ride rocket turrets, and occasionally explode on purpose, all while dodging a barrage of gourmet-themed bosses across the ever-chaotic netherworld. And if you die, no problem. Just throw the next Prinny into the mix like a cursed Pez dispenser. Combat's tight, the platforming is punishing, and every level changes depending on what time of day you enter it. Enemies shift, bosses change, rewards morph. It's like 6 games in one. Add in unlockable modes, surprise Disgaea cameo, and an alternate story where a meta mascot tries to steal your protagonist status, and you've got the weirdest, hardest, funniest dessert quest ever coded into a UMD. Dante's Inferno. This one's a wild ride through the circles of hell, with a Templar knight swinging a giant scythe and screaming, "For Beatrice!" while body-slamming demons the size of castles. If that doesn't sound metal enough, throw in baby-headed monsters, topless Cleopatra with snake hair, and an entire level made of writhing bodies, and you've got Dante's Inferno, a game that took the Divine Comedy and turned it into a full-blown hack-and-slash fever dream. You'll chain scythe combos like Kratos on espresso, blast holy energy from your crucifix like an exorcist gone rogue, and use collected souls to unlock brutal abilities across a morality system, holy for redemption, or unholy for that sweet overkill carnage. And while you're at it, you'll also be busy judging the damned, including historical celebrities like Pontius Pilate and even Dante's own father, through soul-absolving minigames. So yeah, this isn't your English lit teacher's Inferno. The PSP port trims down some visual flash, but retains the heavy narrative punches and hellish vibe. From flaming forests to frozen traitor pits, every zone is a grotesque set piece. It's loud, sacrilegious, tragic, and over the top in the best way. You came for the revenge quest, but you'll stay for the guilty pleasure of beating up Satan with poetic irony. Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. It starts with a simple goal: 2 teen trainees traveling the picturesque kingdom of Libelle to earn their stripes as peacekeeping bracers. But what begins as a heartwarming JRPG romp, filled with cat-chasing side quests and monster-hunting gigs, quickly spirals into a tale of political intrigue, ancient artifacts, brainwashing, secret societies, and soul-shattering betrayal. Oh, and did we mention the emotional gut punch ending that'll leave you clutching your PSP like it's a therapy plushie? Gameplay here is a masterclass in tactical turn-based combat, none of that mashing attack and pray nonsense. You'll fight on grid-based arenas using physical blows, elemental arts, which are like magic with a wait time, flashy, character-specific crafts, and devastating S-crafts that can skip the line and wreck fools mid-turn. Think chess, if the pawns had air combos and glowing super moves. And that's just the battles. The real meat lies in the writing. Every NPC in the game evolves with the story, often giving you lore, gossip, or personal drama worth listening to. Cities feel lived in, your companions feel like family, and the unfolding mystery makes side quests feel just as important as the main one. By the time Joshua drops his emotional bombshell and vanishes into the night, you'll realize this isn't just a game. It's the first chapter in one of the most rewarding RPG sagas ever crafted, and this PSP version delivers it all in portable perfection. Me and My Katamari. It's your tropical vacation, but with less sipping coconut water and more frantically rolling up sunbathers, sandcastles, and random sushi until you've got a sentient beach ball the size of a volcano. That's Me and My Katamari, a PSP-sized delight where the royal family's idea of taking a break involves causing a natural disaster and forcing you, the poor prince, to fix it by collecting everything in sight. No pressure, right? The premise is pure Katamari. The king of all cosmos causes chaos, this time by vacationing too hard, and you're roped into cleaning it up with your magical sticky ball. But this time, instead of just rebuilding stars, you're helping displaced animals by building them new islands, which naturally require you to roll up junk, animals, sushi trays, and sometimes entire buildings. It's as gloriously weird and whimsical as ever, only now you're doing it on the go. Adapting the game to PSP meant no analog sticks, so controls got funky. But once you get into the groove, the charming soundtrack, shifting seasons, and bite-sized missions make it worth the awkward finger gymnastics. It's absurd, colourful, totally random, and honestly kind of therapeutic. Who knew disaster relief could be so fabulous? Is the Oath in Felghana. You show up in a sleepy town for what's supposed to be a relaxing visit, and suddenly you're knee-deep in political corruption, ancient curses, lava-filled cathedrals, and bosses the size of small houses trying to slap the red hair off your head. Welcome to the Oath in Felghana, the ultimate vacation gone wrong for Adol Christin, who once again finds himself solving everyone's centuries-old demonic problems with a sword and sheer willpower. This remake throws out the awkward side-scrolling mechanics of the original Ys the 3 and replaces them with slick, fluid, top-down action that's all about speed, precision, and looking like an absolute beast in combat. There's no potion-chugging menu pausing. Your healing and stat boosts drop on the fly from enemies, and they only last if you keep the battle rolling. Momentum is everything here, and breaking that combo flow feels like slamming the brakes on a roller coaster. The boss fights? Gloriously brutal. Each one's a multi-stage dance of dodges, sword swings, and laser beam-fueled panic. Add in an emotionally charged soundtrack that punches harder than some enemies, and you've got a tightly built action RPG that never wastes your time. On PSP, it runs beautifully, and whether you're playing for the fast-paced combat or the tragic tale of Galbalan and the Cursed Lands, this game proves Adol doesn't take a single day off, even on holiday. Who knew your old PSP was hiding this much unhinged greatness behind its UMD whirring? From sushi-rolling cosmic balls to pixel-perfect poetic purgatory, these unsung masterpieces prove the PSP was a fever dream on lithium-ion. If your idea of fun includes flaming cathedrals, awkward thumb controls, and being betrayed by anime sibling, welcome home. Now go dust off that PSP, charge it up, and play something weird, because normal is boring and these games, they're badass with a capital B.